Hi, it's Terri Levine, the Business Growth Guru. Are you selling higher priced items in your business, high ticket items, or are you selling, low to medium price things? Well, today I want to shift you so that your business focuses on selling higher priced items because I want you to have a very profitable business right from the get-go. So do you think it's harder to sell higher priced items, or do you think it's harder to make a sale with a higher priced item? If you think about it, if you wanted to make $10,000 and you're selling ebooks that are $1, you'd have to sell 10,000 of them. But if you're selling a program that cost $5,000, you only need to sell 2 of them. So instead of having to sell a product to a lot of people, you have the opportunity to sell the product only to a few. Now, personally, I consider that much easier. It's much easier to find a couple of buyers than to find 100 buyers. So I want you to put on a different hat if you haven't been selling high-priced items, and I want you to start thinking about what your business would be like if you were selling higher-priced items. So whether you have a product or whether you have a service, you're going to need to think about how you can value something at $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 or more. In other words, how can you make whatever it is you're going to sell at a higher dollar price, how can you make it really, really valuable so that when you're discussing it with people or when you're advertising it or putting it on a website or whatever you may be doing, it's very clear to people that there's tremendous, tremendous value in what you're offering so that they don't flinch by going, oh, that's $2,000 or $5,000 or $20,000, but instead they resonate with it because they understand the value and therefore they will make the investment to get the kind of a value. So let's say that you have a marketing budget of $1,000 a month, and you've been spending that on pay-per-click ads or postcards or whatever it might be, and you've been attracting in people that are buying an item that's $250. You're spending $1,000 to make each sale of only $250. I would much rather see you spend $1,000 and have a return on investment that's 10 times what your marketing expenditure was. So think differently. If you're not selling high-priced items, I want you to become someone who sells items that are really, really valuable. Now, my friends, this works with a service business and it also works with a product business. I've used it in both. I have taught about 250 different kinds of business owners to use this regardless of their industry. So again, you don't have to convert a lot of people anymore. You don't have to sell to a lot of people and get a lot of people. You only need to get a couple of people to make a great income. So I'm going to give you an example. One of my VIP clients is a social media expert, and she is great. I mean, she is phenomenal. I've used her for my own social media. She, to me, is the best of the best. She's brilliant, and she's been doing it longer than anybody I know. About a year ago, I suggested to her that she move to a high-priced program where giving her consulting help would cost someone $5,000. They'd invest $5,000 to learn her social media strategies. And initially, she didn't do this. She was still selling her, onesie, twosies, $250, $500. Every once in a while, she'd get $1,000 or so. And her business was building very slowly. She still had the same marketing costs, but there just wasn't as much success. And she's successful, but not near as much as I saw for her. Well, finally, she said, okay, I'm going to go out there and get a VIP client. Terri, I get it. I understand what you're saying. She got her first one for $5,000, and she sent me an email that same day, and it's like, I get it. I finally get it. It's so much more lucrative to have one client paying me $5,000 than working with 10 people to make $5,000. So instantly, she decided to focus all of her business efforts on her VIP clients. Now, I've made the same shift in my business, so I'll share my own example because I really believe by being transparent with you, you can learn more, and my goal is for you to be more successful. When I started in my coaching business, I charged a monthly rate that gave people a certain amount of coaching or consulting hours. And in order to make 7 figures doing that, I literally had to work 60 hours a week. Now, you may think that's crazy and that's ridiculous, and thank you for thinking that. It took me a while to realize how ridiculous that was. I mean, it was crazy. So I went back to the drawing board and I thought, how can I create a bigger benefit, bigger results for the business owners that work with me? How can I impact their businesses in a much larger way? And what would bring me joy? What is it that I could do that would really bring me joy in delivering it and give my clients the results? And over a few months period, I came up with my apprentice program, which is my VIP program. And it's the only way I work with clients now directly. And I sat down and thought of all the things I could give them. And I give them tons more than I could ever give people who just worked with me, spending a few hours a month with me. Instead, I give tremendous amounts of value. I got masterminds and weekly coaching, and we've got group coaching, and we've got expert coaching, and we've got lab coaching, and we've got a newsletter, and we've got forums, and it goes on and on. Now, instead of asking people for X per month, I made that a yearly program. Why? Because I know that it takes a full year for people to integrate everything that I teach, for me to help them integrate it, and to get them massive results. I'm not about little results, I'm about massive results. And so I made a year-long program, and the financial commitment is obviously much larger. I discovered very quickly that I didn't need 100 clients. I didn't need 80 clients. Quite frankly, I could have 10 and make a very lucrative income and focus on those 10 people. So I'm suggesting to you, strongly suggesting to you, that you listen to what I'm saying so that you do really well financially. You create some high-ticket programs. Definitely have some lower-end programs that allow people to get your products and services that take very, very little time for you to deliver. And definitely have some lower-end products, like perhaps some ebooks or some books or CDs or DVDs, whatever business you're in, we'll figure that out. But in a nutshell, what I'm stressing to you today, and I hope you hear how urgently I'm telling you, is that you need to focus on a higher ticket item. Higher price products speak volumes about your credibility. What do I mean? I mean, it says that you're somebody who has so much value, so much expertise, and you are the real deal. You're the credible expert or the credible business that you are able to be paid, or your company is able to be paid that highly. So if you really want to determine your own income, you want to separate yourself from the pack that's charging inexpensively. I will give you one other example. I hired a person to come decorate one of the areas of my home several years ago. And this is how I made my decision in who I was choosing. One person had an hourly rate. I think it was like $75 an hour. And the other person did not have an hourly rate. They had a very high, it's very high rate that included not only the decorating, it included shopping, it included organizing, it included coordinating the project, it included suggestions, it included taking me shopping. I can't remember all the things. I chose the higher price one. Why would I make a higher price investment versus the quote lower hourly one? Because that person to me brought more value to the table. So we're not just trying to sell something at a higher price. We're trying to massively create more and more value so that people are willing to invest a higher amount in our dollars and services because we're worth it. Our products and services are worth it. So instead of creating a business and trying to sell to everybody, which really isn't a very profitable model, I encourage you to do your marketing funnel the opposite way most people do it. Start with your high-end products and go out there with the high-end products. And for those folks who can't afford those products that you still want to service, you have your lower-end products or services that, again, take very little time or energy to deliver or have very little cost for you to deliver. So So yes, you're still serving masses of people, but I will tell you, you'll be making an extraordinary living. One final comment that I wanted to share with you. I have one client who shifted to this model about 2 years ago. And this client was doing fairly well when he hired me. I think he was earning, like $180 a year. So he was doing okay. When he shifted to this model, he started making about $260, but he started to do it working only 2 days a week, when before he was working 5. Food for thought. It's not just about making money. It's about creating the lifestyle that you desire and deserve.